Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Kim TV. I'm Kim Jimenez, your digital marketing strategist, and in this channel, we talk all about business and online marketing strategies to grow your online business. So if you're new around here, welcome and definitely consider subscribing. All right, so the video that you're about to see was shot live during a Q&A session inside the Business Lounge membership. And if you've never heard of the Business Lounge membership, it's an amazing community that I host for online creators where I teach and mentor them to help grow their online businesses. Now, this Q&A was shot live, so I do apologize because the video quality isn't as great. However, I really wanted you to hear this message because it's so important. We're going to talk about the 2 strategies that I use to relieve imposter syndrome and how to turn your limiting beliefs into actionable statements that'll help propel and encourage you as you move forward in your business. So let's go into the video right now. So how do you handle imposter syndrome and how do you get over it, right? And if you don't know what imposter syndrome is, it's basically that feeling we get when we're about to either launch our business or create something new in the marketplace or just reach another milestone in our business. Like, a lot of us suffer from imposter syndrome. I'm inclined to say almost all of us do, but I know that there's like unicorns that are super confident. They never suffer from this. But imposter syndrome, at least for me, was really real. It's still very real in my business. And I remember feeling like I'm not good enough. Like, who am I, right, to be teaching this stuff? Who am I to be showing my clients and customers how they can grow their Instagram following? Or who am I to think that I can, actually produce results and make them more money via social media? And then with consulting, it was, who am I to actually go in and tell their teams what to do, right? They're smart enough. They can figure it out on their own, especially when I'm charging this amount of money. Like, is this actually worth it for them? And then when I was launching my online products, it was like, who am I to actually teach this stuff? Like, who do I think I am? Like, I'm so further behind than everyone I admire in the industry. And so if this is something that you struggle with as well, I have a couple of tips, but I do want you to know that it's all about mindset work. And you have to do that mindset work if you want to be able to get over the imposter syndrome, because it doesn't go away on its own. And at least for me, it's been something that I struggle with I've struggled with at every stage in my career, in my business. So it really is all about like figuring out where it's coming from and then doing something about it. So for me, I remember getting this notebook. I pulled a notebook from 3 years ago. I think I got this like 3 years ago. And I wrote down my limiting beliefs. Like, what was it that was actually making me feel like I was an imposter? What were my limiting beliefs and how were they holding me back in my business? And I want to read this to you, Candace, because it helped me a lot. This exercise helped me a lot. So on one side, I wrote my limiting beliefs, and then on the other side, I changed or flipped the script, right? Because it's important to kind of figure out what is it that you're telling yourself and then change that narrative, change the story that you're telling yourself about yourself. So the first thing that I did was wrote that down, and it really helped me. And I've referred to this very often. So the first limiting belief, and it's funny that we're talking about this topic because this is exactly how I felt. I said, I'm not as good as I think, and I'm definitely not as good as other people think. And when I say I'm not as good, I meant like I'm not as good, right, of a marketer, of a business owner, of a wife, of a sister, of a daughter. Like, it just, that's how I felt in that moment. And the part that was even harder was I had my parents cheering me on and telling me that I was so good and I could keep moving forward. I had my husband, who was my cheerleader, telling me like, You are so much better than you give yourself credit for. You have to keep going. And then I started having people reaching out on social media and telling me like, oh, I want to have a business like you. Can you show me how to do it? And in my mind, I was like, I don't know how to do this stuff. Like, I'm not as good as you think I am. And that was even scarier than the thought of like not being as good as I thought I was. Because then there's like these expectations, like how was I going to meet those expectations? And it just really held me back for a long time. In fact, the first corporate job I had was doing social media marketing, and it was being the head of social media for a big corporation, not a big corporation, it was a corporation in town. And they saw the potential in me, and I didn't see the potential in me at all. Right? Like they offered me the job literally. They were like, hey, we know you don't have a degree in this, but you're good enough and we want you to head our department. And I was just puzzled. I was like, oh my gosh. And then like everything started swirling in my brain. Like, oh my gosh, what if I'm not as good as I think I am? What if I'm not as good as they think? I'm definitely not as good as I think I am. I'm going to totally fail at this job. I'm not going to be able to give them the results, and then I'm going to be fired. And so writing those things down and really expressing your feelings and then changing the script, so important. Even if you don't feel like changing the script, right? Even if you don't necessarily think that you can, you have to. You have to. So my kind of like flip on that whole limiting belief is this. I've already accomplished so much with so little. I'm brave and courageous, and I'm capable of reaching my wildest dreams because I can. And so I didn't lie to myself, right? This is really important. Flipping the script doesn't mean that you tell yourself you are the best. You are unbelievable. Like you are limitless. You could do anything you set your mind to. If that's not how you feel, even if it's true, you can't lie to yourself. So that's important, right? I didn't tell myself like, you are the greatest social media marketer in the world. Right? Because that wasn't going to work for me. So instead, I went back to my past and I said, you know what? I've accomplished so much with so little. I'm capable of reaching my wildest dreams because I can. And that was enough for me to like really sit on that and do that mindset work and refresh, right? That kind of like sense of determination and power, and kind of like re-engage with what I had already accomplished and give myself props because I had been through so much already and I had accomplished so much. Why couldn't I accomplish more? And so again, kind of like writing those things down and really figuring out what are your limiting beliefs, where are they coming from, and switching the script without lying to yourself is a really, really, really smart thing to do. The other thing that I think is important is surrounding yourself with people that bring out the best in you and can cheer you on. This is so important. If you have people in your life who are kind of instigating the limiting beliefs that you already have, right? They're making them worse. They're kind of like validating those limiting beliefs. You got to cut ties with those people. You have to cut ties with those people because that kind of influence is poisonous. So in my life, I had to cut ties with friends who were constantly challenging my career choices and my career decisions. I had to cut ties with family members who were constantly pointing out my flaws and my failures instead of coming back and reminding me when I was like in those moments and feeling like I wasn't good enough, reminding me of everything that I had accomplished before, of how truly good I was, and then really kind of being a cheerleader in that sense. So if you don't have a spouse, if you don't have a friend who can be that cheerleader, who can kind of validate, right, the positive in you, you have to surround yourself with people who do. And that means joining a mastermind group. That means connecting with an accountability buddy here in the business lounge. It means reaching out to me for feedback and support, because that's what it's about. It's those two things. It's like working on your mindset and really shifting that limiting belief, like totally flipping the script into something that you can like reinforce in your life, but then also surrounding yourself with people who are not going to constantly point out, right, your flaws, and are actually going to reinforce the positive things that you're already telling yourself. So those two things I think are super important, regardless of whether or not you feel like you have that imposter syndrome. And I pretty much guarantee that it's going to come up at some point. So I hope that was helpful. You're welcome, Candace. I hope that that helps. So definitely, that's your homework. Really write down your limiting beliefs and flip the script. Oh, and then just for emphasis sake, I'm gonna read to you 2 more of my limiting beliefs, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in this section. So the second one is, everyone is so much further ahead than I am. Everyone is so much further ahead than I am. And then flipping the script of that limiting belief is, no one becomes an overnight success. I'm exactly where I need to be. Okay, so no one becomes an overnight success. I'm exactly where I need to be. The third one is, I've already failed before. I've already failed before. Why would I not fail again? And then the flipping of the script is, there's no such thing as failure, only opportunities. There's no such thing as failure, only opportunities. So I hope that helps inspire you guys to write down your own limiting beliefs and then flip the script. And remember, flipping the script doesn't mean you're lying to yourself. It just means you're reinforcing, right, the opposite thought by with evidence and proof. So that's just what's worked for me, and I hope it helps. So there you have it. 2 of my favorite ways to deal with imposter syndrome. Now you have homework for this specific training. It's important that you go ahead and create your own list of limiting beliefs, and go ahead and flip the script over on each individual limiting beliefs to a statement that helps to empower you and move you forward and past that limiting belief. But it doesn't stop there. I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. So comment telling me, what is your limiting belief and how you flip that script on that sucker to move forward with your business. If you enjoyed this training video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and share it with someone that can take advantage of it. Maybe it's a friend or a colleague or someone else in your industry that might be struggling with imposter syndrome as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. So, you know how building an online business can be totally overwhelming? You're probably learning new strategies from YouTube, other blogs, podcasts, and taking courses that are all great, but sometimes give you contradictory and even confusing advice. I get it. It's hard to filter through which strategies you should be implementing right now to grow your online business versus the ones that you should stow away for the future, you know, when you're actually ready to implement them. And that's exactly why we designed the Online Success Path. Inside, we broke down the 6 stages of a successful online business: validate, launch, hustle, breakthrough, profit, and scale. And we designed a complete roadmap inside the Business Lounge membership just for you. Inside each stage, you will find a step-by-step action guide tailored to the specific challenges you'll encounter during the stage of business you are currently at, complete with getting started tips so you can know exactly what to expect, video tutorials so that you can implement new strategies, action items so you stay on track, plus full-blown courses to help you focus only on the tasks that will accelerate your progress right now and take you to the next level in your business journey while keeping you accountable and overwhelm-free. So if you're ready to take your online business to the next level, get started at jointhebelounge.com. Getting my focus on. Am I focused? My focus.